really good clips came out of the interview the other day.
Yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I
Yeah,
had to
we like
condense it all down.
we had to listen to it and like
Oh.
mark everything and use computer programs.
Oh. That's pretty good.
Okay. So basically, after what we talked about last time, we wanted to start off this interview with one question for you. And what would be an ideal home in an ideal community? Like when you think about like, this is the home that I want, this is where I want to live, what do you think of? Like what?
For that, I think like you're in a house and like the neighborhood is nice to each other and it's quiet. You don't hear no gunshots, nothing. And you see everybody outside in front of the houses just screaming, yelling, not nothing negative, just the positive sides. Yeah, and then people just talking to neighbors and saying hi or saying how the day going, and sometimes like when I think of home, like sometimes we thinking like a neighborhood they have like the whole neighborhood have a whole party, like one neighborhood have a street party, and then anybody can come by and just come chill with the neighborhoods, and food is applied in like sports and games that other neighborhood could come and join and play, and yeah, that's what I think about home. Home is like you feel very safe with the people around you. You don't have to be insecure. You could just be in relief, and you don't have to worry about anything that's gonna go bad.
So you don't think that here, you don't see those things here?
Yeah, I don't really see those. Yeah, I don't really see like like the next neighbor, like the neighbors. They don't really say hi or how's your day going or what's your plan for the day. Yeah, I don't really see those kinds around.
So last time you mentioned talking about you volunteer and pick up trash.
Oh yeah,
and like
yeah,
how you see a lot of trash around here.
yeah.
Why is that important to you? Like where did you learn that, or I mean, maybe that's just something that you came up with. Like why do you think that you need to do that?
Oh well, like um, I learned that cause it was I think it was the last couple summer in the programming center, cause we kind of joined a program called Safe and Sound, and they talk about us about different neighborhoods and the ghetto neighborhoods and the nice neighborhood and try to keep it clean so other people from the outsiders will come and check that these neighborhoods are good because you don't really see trash a lot on the ground. And then sometimes the outsider, well, most of the time, the outsider did like a lot of trash on the neighborhood. They know that this neighborhood is not really safe for them to come and live. And yeah, the trash. Yeah, people just look at the trash, and the trash just tells that the neighborhood is not that good to have shelter in.
So you want to help create
Yeah,
a
yeah. So if there's like less trash and less houses are for foreclosure, then people know that that neighborhood is pretty good for them for their family to live in.
you do other volunteering here?
Yeah, I do volunteer too here. Too. Like since I live near her, they just call me up and I just walk by and just volunteer.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes the morning they call me too as well.
Why do you think that it's important to volunteer here as well?
Well, for me, I volunteer just to get experience, cause like so I could help the younger that gonna for the next generation. So I don't have to like worry about like the next generation that they're gonna do. So then I'm just helping the youngers out. So then next time when I'm not there no more, they could teach the other generation and just keep on going.
And then same thing with like the cat and
Yeah, yeah.
learning the
Yep,
language and
yep.
stuff.
Know that.
Is that important to to you to keep the Hmong culture?
Yeah, it's really important because cause like the origin that we usually live in is in Thailand. Yeah, so but then there was like the World War Two, I think it was World War Two or the Vietnam War. Yeah, so then we gotta come here and then people start getting dominated by the American religion, Christian. So then people start losing the our origin cultural stuff. So then we try to bring it back so it wouldn't be extinct.
Yeah. And your family
Yeah.
tries to keep that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Teaching the same tradition rules.
What do you think is the difference between your culture, the Hmong culture, between the neighborhood culture, or the values?
Well, there are like a lot of cultures out there, but but for my culture, it's not really about. It's not really about believing in one God. It's about like spiritual world. Yeah, we are like believe in a spiritual world. We don't really believe in like one God or one man. We believe there's a spiritual world, and then the difference is that we use like the spiritual, like we do like ritual and all that, to fix sickness or to figure out like what's going on with the body, and then most of the time it works, and that's like the difference because we use like the ritual and spiritual just to fix a human's problem with the body or issues. That's probably it.
Do you think the Hmong people see neighborhood in a different way than in other cultures that you live with around you?
Well, sometimes the Hmong people they kind of live by the ghetto neighborhoods cause sometimes every year they do a tradition called Oneng. That's like every year they kind of do that tradition to check around the house like if there's any ghost that is affecting the family or is bringing bad luck to them or is making somebody sick in the house that can't get really well. So they do that every year, and every year the neighborhood kind of get packed. It depends on how much people they invite or to tell people come and help out because they usually before the actual day they usually go to a farm and kill like around probably 12 or 15 chickens and they come back and then but then if it depends on the situation. If it's the situation is big then they gotta kill a bigger animal like a cow or a goat. It depends on the situation. So then each year the when it's on the original day there's like a lot of people the same variety of people they come and they help out, and sometimes if the situation is very big then the what's it called the ritual master he or she usually stays overnight until they get it done, and then they'll tell the owner of the house why is the sickness is not good or bad, because sometimes it's the sickness fault too, because he or she might did something to the ghost and the ghost did it back. So it's like kind of like equal revenge, and yeah.
So, just I guess the main difference is kind of how you deal with problems.
Yeah, we
and-
do probably using ritual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you spend like time within like you said you spend a lot of time with like other Asian friends, other
Oh yeah,
people.
yeah.
Do you spend any time with people of other cultures?
Like Puerto Rican, Mexican, all that.
Yeah, or black.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, usually at school, cause school is like a lot of diversity people there, so it's pretty good to make new friends over there. But then sometimes I'm not that really close talking to other cultures, cause I'm not kind of used to it. So, but then I'm still learning to kind of cooperate with other.
Mhm. school helps with that.
Yeah, school helped out too. Cause like if they need help, they just call my name. Then I just go help them. Then we just talk and chat, and then kind of get off subject, and then yeah, just friendly conversation.
Where's school?
Oh, I go to Riverside University.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's right by my house. Okay. You guys have any questions right now?
Yeah, I'm from Brazil, and there I don't see the segregation that I see here. Like in one neighborhood, just white people, in the other one, just Mexican people.
Oh, there
We have
is.
diverse neighborhoods. We have a mix of people. Why do you think Milwaukee is like this, and why do you feel? Because you are from another culture too.
Yeah. I heard that question before. Cause the south side is full of Mexican and the north side is full of black and white, and then the west and east are whites, huh? I heard that question before. I forgot how it was answered, but I don't know. I think like from what I heard, well, if I could try to remember, I think the first, the blacks, they were enslaved, right? So then I think the black, they try to separate from the stuff from the white. So I think they instead of living with the whites, they try to separate them by living in the north. And then the Asian came. Then I think they came to live with the ghetto ones, with the black people. My fault. And then after the Asian, I think it was the Mexican. So I think they chose the last side, so which was South Side. So I think that's how it was segregated. And sometimes I think it's pretty good. It was segregated so that like one side, like you feel like you're safe because you live in the same race as you. Like if you go to other like north or west, you see it's not your own race, so you kind of nervous, and you don't really feel safe because you're not around with your same race no more. But I think if you stay with your own race, you really feel safe because you have like your own your own language that you could talk that other people will know, and like they could tell you to watch out in their own language, even though the other other culture people, they don't know what you guys talking about because you have your own language.
You mentioned the other day that there are tension between Asians and black people.
There are what?
Tension. You.
Like cultural tension.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, like issues of trust, or like you said you don't feel safe.
Oh,
when you're
yeah.
in a black
And we were
neighborhood.
kind
Yeah.
of wondering maybe where that stemmed from with people.
Oh, have you guys heard about the knockout game?
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah, that was one thing that people were scared. That's what I think. After that, people start being afraid and scared. Well, I knew that was gonna happen, so I kind of stay alert at all time because I kind of live in like ghetto hood, and then it was one day they started showing the knockout game, and I was pretty nervous because I was pretty scared. Cause I kind of walk around the neighborhood sometimes when I feel bored. And then there's one video. It was this black guy. He was walking by an old white lady, and then after he passed her, he turned around and knocked out the white lady, and she knocked out, and she was on the ground, and the black guy walked away, and I was shocked. So I was thinking that I can't really let my sister or brother go out because of that video. Yeah, because that video kind of alert me just in case if anything happen like that, I gotta take actions.
So do you think like a lot of these problems are like rooted kind of in like the media, like what you see on the internet?
Yeah, I think the media. Yeah, I think media, they kind of influence the people to do it,
Mm-hmm.
and then the people kind of affect on us, and then we kind of get scared, and then we don't really want to hurt anybody or kill anybody, so we just we just don't go outside. We stay inside.
How do you think others see this neighborhood, like from the outside? Like us, for example, we don't live here, but I mean, we come here to learn about it.
Yeah,
How
well,
do you think, like, you know?
I think for the outsider, I think when they come and see our neighborhood, I think they're gonna like we don't like for example like if you're Mexican, right? So that you come from the south side, you come see our neighborhood, and then you check the neighborhood, and then you don't really see your own kind there. So there's like a high chance that they might not come and live there because their own race is not there. But then if the neighborhood is quiet and there's not and there's not no like barely people going outside, so then they might come and live in the same neighborhood. But then, as I said, it like if they have like if they see like one same for culture like them, then they might come and live in there.
So you think it's important to live with people of your own
Yeah,
culture?
so that you kind of feel safe,
Uh-huh.
and then, cause like you live with your own race, and then they might keep a lookout for you too as well. Cause like even though you never talked to them or heard if there's like a situation that happened like in front of your house, or they're like a 50-50 that they might be looking for you just in case. So that so then if you don't if you did not know what happened, you could go to the same race as you, and you could go ask him or her to see what happened to them, to in front of the house or any situation.
Do you, so you walk mainly in the neighborhood, right?
Yeah, I only walk just to get something to eat.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Do you
that's
like bike or drive or
Oh,
somebody else drive?
I walk and sometimes bikes, but since I don't have a bike right now, so I don't really bike nowadays.
You feel safer when you're on a bike or in a car than when you are walking?
Oh yeah, I feel safer in a car.
Mm.
Yeah, cause if you're in a bike, anything could really happen. But in a car, like anything could happen, but not really, cause you're like the car is kind of protecting you as well, so you don't want to get injured. The car's gonna get injured more. Yeah.
Okay. You should mention the beautification,
Oh.
the boarded up houses.
Yeah, I was in a community art class last semester, and we learned all about how like houses can affect people's views. Kind of like what you said, like if there's trash around,
Yeah.
people aren't gonna want to go
Or
there.
if it's boarded up.
And yeah, we were on Locust and 27th ish. I don't know if you know that area, but they had like board up houses that were really ugly, and they were trying to get people to move into them. So what they did is they took like the boards down, they spray painted like a door on it, and then they like spray painted a window just to kind of like beautify it and make it look nice. And I felt like it kind of gave like a potential view of what could be. So maybe it was like more of an incentive to like keep clean. And I was just kind of wondering if you thought maybe like things would change around here if they kind of beautified the area and tried to bring more people in. Just as I don't know.
Like if the boards on the abandoned houses
Yeah,
had like, if they were painted and it kind of looked like pretty, or like if there was like art on them, just because like it's not being used, and like do you think that changes it at all, or are there other things that need to happen?
Yeah, well, like they say don't judge a book by its cover, but most of the people they do that. But when it comes to neighborhood, they don't care about that phrase. They still judge. But yeah, most people when they from the outsider when they come and look at the neighborhood, if there like a few houses that have those green boards, they know that it's not really a good safe place to live in. Cause sometimes people just drive-bys, right? Yeah, they just either drive-bys or they probably throw rocks at the window, so it's not really a good place to live in. And but for some people, like for buyers, they might come buy the house because it's pretty cheap at the bank. So they buy the house and they fix it all up, and like for me, my dad do that too. So my dad usually he looks for houses that have those green boards are up, and like if they have the sales on front of the yard. And if my dad like the house and the price are low, my dad will buy the house and fix it up and rent it for people to come live in. So yeah, I think if the green board there are removed and kind of kind of fixed up, then I think it should be good for the outsiders to come and live in.
So no boards.
Yeah,
Boards
yeah,
should
cause
go.
like yeah, the very first thing that people come and see from the outside are is like if there are green boards or broken windows, there's a good chance that they might not come and live in. Unless there are buyers and they come and buy the house and fix it, then yeah, they might.
How do you think the Hmong people are seen in Milwaukee or in this neighborhood or maybe even in the U.S.? Like, how how do you think um, your culture is seen?
Oh, hmm.
It's a tough
Yeah, it is a really tough one. Well, can you repeat that question again?
Yeah, like when I know it must be hard to like imagine what somebody else is thinking, but do you have any ideas of like how your people are talked about or how they're seen? Like if some
Oh,
you,
all right.
you know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
get you now. All right. Oh well, I think yeah after the Hmong people they start going to school and then cause you know the other the outsiders they never seen like an Asian before. Sometimes they would just call you Chinese or Japanese or just kind of stereotype and show the fingers on your eyes. And then but then since since 2014 like I think that like half of the people know that we're not Chinese or Japanese. They know that we're like there's Hmong now. Yeah, they finally know the Hmong words and then and like if sometimes well most of the time they get curious like what is Hmong and then we just tell them that oh Hmong is and then we just tell them the facts like how we originated from China to Thailand and all that. Yeah, but then I think if the outside they have a moment to know a little bit more about the Hmong, I think they would kind of want to know more about Hmong people. Yeah, and yeah, there are like a few outsiders that know our language very well, which is surprising. So yeah, yeah, if the outsider they kind of give like a moment about knowing more facts about Hmong people, I think they will know the difference between Japanese and Hmong.
So you think they just don't?
Yeah,
People mainly just don't know anything.
yeah, cause they're like kind of rushing, like they like these like nowadays they kind of judge like if you they think you're black, but then you go ask them, they're not. They just they're Jamaican or something. For example, like white, we think that you're white, but then when you go ask, they're not. They're Puerto Rican. So we gotta take a moment and go ask.
So do you think maybe that's something that could be lacking? Because you talked about like segregation, some like cultural tension, and like I guess I'm just kind of wondering like if there's like a program where like everyone could like meet and be like forced to like interact, like oh you're pretty cool, like oh that's interesting. 'Cause, you know, like I remember we mentioned before, kind of like a neighborhood block party.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think is if everybody have like a moment and just don't judge very quick, I think everybody will get along.
I don't know. Are we missing anything else?
No. I was thinking about an interview with Rosalind and how she talked about like mindset and all that, and I think
Yeah.
we covered that.
Yeah, the
Just, like,
woman that we
saying-
interviewed earlier today was saying that the first thing that needs to change in is people's minds and how
Yeah.
they think about where they live, and that's the first thing. And then after that, you change the homes and you change.
Yeah, it's actually the people that gotta change first, and then after the people are changed, everything just come along as people want it.
You have any idea how to do that?
Well, for that, it's gonna take many years to get people all together and start building a new generation, new environment for the next generations. It's gonna take a lot of work to get everybody together and to make them cooperate with each other, cause there are like some people that don't want to work with other people because they kind of like racist, yeah, which is are some there are some racism in this country somewhere, but I haven't met yet. Well, I did met some, but I kind of forget about it because just let them be. Yeah, so I don't really want
What's like a racist to you?
like if they don't like you, they might like do something to you because they just because of your skin color or just because your race.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You mentioned the other day that your sister was jogging
Yeah.
in the park and a guy talked to her. Do you think that he talked to her because she's monk or because she's from a different race, or if it was another African American,
Yeah. Do you
it
think
have the same reaction?
Yeah, I think the black guy came up to my sister because I think he never seen her before around the park, so he just letting her know, just let her know that it's not safe outside and this late at the park. So it was really nice for him to tell her that because you never know what might happen to her.
Mhm. Do you think it'd be different if she was a different race?
Yeah, well, if it's the same, well, actually, it depends. It actually depends on the guy that, cause they're like sometimes if you're like the same race as like the whole group, then I think they wouldn't it wouldn't matter, cause you kind of know everybody, and then you don't really need that alert, cause you're like in the same rate the same race as you. But then for the outsiders, I think it does matters, cause you don't want them to get hurt, and just let them to know just in case if anything could happen to them.
So there are other people in the neighborhood that also care.
Yeah, there are some.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I got a tough question for you. What do you think is the most like basic, fundamental way to like change people's mindsets? Like, do you think it's like just saying hello to people on the street? Like, 'cause you mentioned before, like people don't even like say hi, and it's like kind of creating like a separation, like a wall. So I was kind of wondering how you.
Yeah, yeah, I've been hearing that if you talk to if you see like a sad person, you go talk to them. There's like a good chance that you might cheer her or him up. Yeah, I think it's good to for the people to talk to strangers, cause they say don't talk to strangers is bad, but I think if you do talk to him or her, I think everybody will get along, cause you kind of you know him or her, so that whenever you walk around, everybody. You just say hi, how are you, and then so that like whenever if there's a problem going on, they're like witness around you. They see, so that if they could always tell you what happened, cause everybody. So, and then cause you're not gonna be the only one witness, you could always trust your other witness because they're around there to see. So you could always ask the same strangers what happened, and they just tell you, and then you guys could solve things easy with that.
Okay. Well, I think we. Yeah. Thanks so much, Kayeng.
Yeah, that's a good.
It's
close.
cool, George.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we can just close this off. We just want to keep it rolling a little bit because later when we go into the
Oh,
computer,
alright.
it's a little hard.
So is this a project or a program for UWM?
It's a program through UWM, and there's a lot of different people. Like there are a lot, like 5 other groups that are out in the neighborhood interviewing people. And yeah, some people are students, some people are just helping out, and what we've been doing is, last week we were measuring people's homes from the inside, and so we would make like a floor plan. Like we would use this paper, and then like every room in the house we would like measure and then draw it out like a map of it, and then so later that person can have that floor plan. You know, sometimes you need things like that to remodel your house, or like just to have as like a record of that plan. Also, we're going to be doing historical research just on homes, like when it was first built, like 100 years ago, and like who was that first person that built it, and who owned it, and why, and how the neighborhood has changed. And so yeah, now all we can do now is talk to people that live here and who, you know, have homes here and have lives here, and yeah, just gotta learn about it.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting how like the houses were built, and like who made it with all that money. And it's pretty a lot of investment making all those houses around the world.
The house that you see around here a lot is like the duplex.
Yeah, duplexes.
Yeah, and what happened there is the families would live on the first floor, and then they would rent out the second floor. I mean, pretty much like what.
Like a single house almost.
Yeah, and that way you're like still making money, but you have a house to live into.
Yeah.
And then once you save up from there, then you move somewhere else.
It's pretty yeah, you gotta play smart way to get more money. That's what my dad always say. You gotta play smart with money.
All right, man.
It's cool.
Cool. Did you get to your lessons?
Oh, I don't think it really starts yet.
Yeah, I think you got like 7 minutes. It was 11 o'clock.
You guys just gonna head out after this?